Welcome back, Bravehearts. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening all around the world. And I do mean all around the world, all right? Our reach goes into homes all around the world. And guess what? That has always been my life dream, all right? Right now, we have approximately usually 30 to 50,000 new people actually joining our platform every day. So understand something, Braveheart Nation is growing. And what does Braveheart Nation stand for? Well, let me tell you something right now. We were all created by the same creator source, all right? And everybody forgets that. I'm going to tell you something. We're going to be interviewing two Braveheart warriors today, and they're from Scotland. And we're going to be finding out what's going on in Scotland and what they do to actually heal themselves and to teach others how to heal. But understand this, if we don't come together as a Braveheart Nation all around the world, then we will head towards our sixth extinction, which we are. And understand something, extinction does not mean everybody leaves, because let me tell you something right now, and I'm telling you the God's truth. Everything you know is a bloody lie. Okay? You will find truth in nature, and you will find truth in your faith. Okay? In the faith of knowing that you are beautiful, that you were created by Source, that you deserve everything. And I am going to do as much as I possibly can to teach you that you are love, and that you need to show yourself unconditional love and care every day at every given moment. Stay in the present, stay connected to your breath, wear a slight smile no matter how many wars these psychos want to create. Know how many times they want religion against religion, color against color, group against group, country against country. We need to come together as a Braveheart Nation, and you might think I'm a ranter and a raver, but I'm going to keep talking like this because everybody's programmed to sell themselves off by the pound and to attack their own families, themselves, their neighbors, and guess what? I'll sign up and go to another country and create terrorism. Why wouldn't I? Are you like out of your skull? You know, what we want to talk about here is about healing ourselves and healing others. And I'm going to introduce right now Gary and Diane, which are two beautiful spirited people that live in Scotland, okay? And they came for the course in Ixtapa, Mexico, okay? And they came for the course I'd say about a year and a half. I could be wrong. Let them correct me because sometimes I just lose it. But the reality is we'll be in Ixtapa, Mexico on January the 8th, and we are going to be doing a course at the Cala del Mar 4-diamond resort where you could come for 4 days for a Braveheart circle where you could crack your coconut and find your authentic self, or you could come to the Whole Life Coach and be with me. That's kind of scary. But you could be with me for 9 days, and we would get you certified as a whole life coach, nutritionally, emotionally, okay, physically, and guess what? My course is the best whole life coach that I believe on the planet. I've been doing it since I was 27 years old. And the reality is 50% of the people that come are just people like you that just I am going to become patient to practitioner, and I am going to heal myself so my family can see that it's possible to be healed. I'm not going to go and try to heal my family because did you ever try to change someone's personality? Well, good luck. I love him so much. I know love will find a way and I will change him. Okay, good luck with that. Anyways, the reality is we do give the most amazing courses, and I'll also be doing, Dr. Sage Wolf will be doing the Wolf Non-Surgical Certification. And understand, you will be certified under the World Organization of Natural Medicine and other universities. You can also get your Indigenous doctorate from us, which will protect you from white man's government anywhere in the world. Did you hear what I just said? Yeah, you can get that from us. So if you're a practitioner and you want to really protect yourself, this is outside the realm of your government. That's right. They can't come after you as long as you don't murder people, poison people, which I know you wouldn't because that's just who we are. Human beings are beautiful. They just got bad belief systems that have been programmed into them by people like the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, okay? And guess what? If you don't believe me, do your homework. The Rothschilds, you will find out, will go back to Egypt. That's right. So understand something. everything you know is pretty well a lie. And almost anything that is government regulated and approved in the world of health is diluted or twisted. So on saying that, let's talk to two people that aren't twisted, that are beautiful spirit people, that actually deal with many different types of trainings. Okay, Gary, Diane, how you doing? All the way from Scotland.
Fine, thanks.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone. I'm Gary.
I'm Diane. Thanks for having us on.
No, that's an honor. I've been trying to get you on earlier. You do know that, eh? You know, Gary's been dragging his heels, okay? Just want to say that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so guys, when did you come to Ixtapa and take the whole New World Practitioner training? How long ago was that?
Just over a year ago, September.
There you go.
September last year.
All right, so how's things going since then?
Yeah, it's been going steady. Starting to pick up a lot now. Now that people are starting to kind of see that the medical system here is under siege and there's a lot of backup, so they can't get the treatments that they get from the medical system. So a lot of people are taking the leap and actually going about it and coming to people like ourselves for the Wolf Non-Surgical. A lot of people were maybe sceptical, didn't know what it was, but as the word's spreading and as I'm doing more work on people, people are starting to tell their friends and tell their family, and things are starting to pick up. So it's a slow process here in Scotland because of the NHS and things like that. So people think they get medical health free in Scotland, whereas they don't, and then they wait for months and maybe even years to get any treatments, and the treatments never ever work, and they just get they get medication, but then they get another medication, and it just snowballs, and then like we pick up the pieces once they get to that stage where they can't cope anymore, and the medical system's just not helping them.
And this is what I want to say, everyone, and you can get it or not get it, but guess what? The true bravehearts are people like Gary and Diane. The medical system will ravage someone until there's nothing left, and people only leave the medical system not because of logic or because they have this knowledge and they become intelligent and aware. They leave the medical system because they've tried everything and guess what it's done? It almost takes their life. And then people come to us, and then guess what? They try to turn it around and go, oh my God, look at how they're feeding off the sick and the dying. Well, they wouldn't be sick and dying ever coming to us because we only use love, unconditional love and care. We use pure, organic, natural, concentrated, God-given foods to heal people. And there's nobody killing anyone. And there's no one hurting anyone on our watch. I mean, when we use Wolf Non-Surgical, we're going in and taking apart, okay, and pulling apart the scar tissue that was created that makes knots in your breast, in your hip, in your spine, in your neck, okay, that makes endometriosis, fibroids, that makes arthritis, that makes sinusitis, okay? Remember, there is no swelling, there is no pain, there is no stiffness, okay, in the body unless there is scar tissue and crystallization and calcification, which we are the masters at getting rid of. So if you can get rid of that, Gary, then guess what? What are people saying about the work that you're doing, the Wolf Non-Surgical?
Well, everybody that I've done it on every single person's seen results. Like even I've had people like they've been going to physios for like 8 years and things like that, and chiropractors, but they're not getting any better. They've just been constantly going to these people.
8 years. So if I can cut in, understand everyone, who would go to somebody for 8 years? Well, Dr. Wolf, I only went to them because there was nothing better. This was as good as it gets. So you can't do better till you know better. And guess what? Our practitioners give a money back guarantee on the first therapy that they're going to outshoot everything you've ever done. So everybody think about that. And it's not because we're cocky and it's not a marketing scheme. It's because the whole world of body work has been scammed like everything else. Gary?
Yeah, definitely. I've had people spending like hundreds of pounds a month on other practitioners, other therapists and other treatments, and for years they've been spending it, and I've done like 2 sessions on them and they're like, wow, just wow. And the changes in people, and it's not just the physical, it's the emotional. We teach them the emotional and the nutritional as well, and the nutrients. It's putting the package together for them.
Yes.
So it's like creating the perfect day is a perfect example. It's just it's amazing when you actually speak to them and you're saying things like nobody else has said to them, like how do you drink water, just the simple things, and telling them to do simple things every day, and the detox tea and things like that, and they're actually amazed that there's other ways as well as the physical side. I mean, I can get and break up the scar tissue and the crystallization, but they've got to do their bit as well. But they love it. They love the fact that, and plus it gives them inspiration when they get one session and they're like, wow, I can feel my back again, I can touch my toes, and these things. I mean, I've worked on people like having injuries for like 19 years.
Injuries for 19 years. Well,
19 years.
Yeah, guess what, everybody? Think about all the people that you know, your friends, your family, and what do they say? Oh, well, man, what's going on? Oh, this is a soccer injury that I got when I was younger. Or how about this one? Guess what? I used to be an athlete. Oh my God, if I hear that one more time, I think I'm just going to jump off. I'm going to jump off our porch, which is at least 10 feet off the ground. But I'll do it 20 times. The reality is this. Everybody is saying, I used to be an athlete. Well, guess what? You could still be an athlete. Gary, Diane, what do you think, Diane? I want to hear from Diane.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm not doing as much of the Wilfred surgical. Gary's kind of stepped out and doing that. But just go back to what you said about the course we did in September. That was completely life-changing for me in a lot of ways, because I had a lot of self-limiting beliefs that I wasn't maybe aware of, that were really affecting how I interacted with people and how I stopped me stepping into my power, to be honest. And I found it extremely challenging, as I think you know.
Yeah, listen, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Trust me, I saw you in the Whole Life Coach certification squirming. I was heavily triggered by a lot of it, and it really challenged my beliefs and my everything that I thought about, like my gift of empathy and my sensitivities, and like my interactions with others. So since the course and since coming back and you cracking the coconut, I would definitely say that I've expanded and evolved. And can I tell you something? You look totally different.
Yeah.
You look totally different.
Yeah,
you look amazing.
So
you absolutely look amazing, Diane. And I'm not just on here on a platform giving BS. You look amazing. Oh, Gary, you look okay too.
Thanks very much.
No, you're both looking great, but Diane, you made a huge change in your energy and in your body. I mean, it is so obvious.
Yeah, I've released so much trauma and pain and self-limiting beliefs, and I had done a lot of work on myself prior to that. I mean, I'd been on a spiritual path for a while, but that was something else. That was like, I can't express how life-changing it was. It's really changed my life and really helped me step into my power and what I'm here to do in this world. So thank you.
But Diane, I want to say this, and I mean this in the nicest way. There were times in the beginning of the course that I'm sure that you went, what the hell am I even doing here? And he is just a little too much. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I found you quite intimidating, and I'm not used to finding people intimidating, because I don't get intimidated by many people.
Yeah, but I never intimidated you. It was your belief. It was your belief systems that were actually ruining your life, that were intimidated.
Yeah. I think I was intimidated because you could read me and I'm not used to people being able to read me or challenge me in
Well,
that way.
but I read everybody when they come to the course. Everyone.
Yeah. But I'm used to being the one that reads people.
Okay. All right. Well, guess what? And now you're really ready to do it, aren't you?
Yeah.
So why don't you?
It was absolutely life-changing. I can't recommend the course enough. It was amazing, and so much growth and expansion that we've been working through. I mean, it's still ongoing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. Every day we're learning as well. Every day we're keeping up to scratch with what's going on with yourself, and we're loving the journey. Because it coincides with our spiritual journey as well, our spiritual awakening, which all happened at the one time, and that was like my catapult for coming to the course. Because I had such ill health a few years ago and it was all down to the medical system, and that's why everything that you were saying when I found you on Facebook during the pandemic was like just click, because I had actually experienced everything that you were saying through the medical system, where it was like, it all started with acid reflux, and I got medication for acid reflux, and it basically killed the acid in my belly, in my stomach, and then it went from there, and I just ended up ill health. So I basically destroyed my gut by this medication that they were giving me to stop the acid reflux in my system, and it got to the stage where I was getting hernias, you name it, urine infections, and then my skin started peeling off. I took a bad reaction to it, and then I ended up with sepsis, which I nearly died from. And that was my moment when I came through that. And
Gary, I didn't know all this. Keep going, but I didn't know this.
Yeah, that's why I started on my journey, of the healing journey, and all came from this medication that the medical system gave me for acid reflux. And then they gave me creams for my face when my skin was peeling off, and it made my teeth crumble. It was just like one thing after another, and then the sepsis was like, this is when I needed to take back the power. And then when I seen you, that was it.
If I can tell everyone, sepsis basically is self-poisoning. And understand something. Every disease you have is self-poisoning. You're going to say, I didn't poison myself. No, you didn't. The belief systems that these Rockefellers, Rothschilds, that date back not hundreds of years. And they've been on this forever. Okay? Yeah. And the reality is I'm not scared to say it. You know, are we all done being scared? Okay, Diane, how about you? Did you get rid of a lot of your scared after you took the Whole Life Coach certification?
Yeah, all of it, I think. I think I'm getting rid of most of my fears.
Yeah.
All my fears. Yeah,
definitely. Definitely standing right in. Diane's definitely like standing right in her power now. She's absolutely came on leaps and bounds.
Oh, like I can't see it? Oh, my God, you're absolutely beautiful. And I'm not telling you weren't beautiful before, but you were inflamed, okay?
Yeah.
Diane, what do you do now? What is it that you do? We know that Gary does the Wolf Non-Surgical. He's the only guy in Scotland that does it. So I'm going to tell you something right now. You want to check out Gary and the non-surgical, because if you're tired of suffering, if you're tired of limping, if you're tired you can't turn your neck, if you're tired of carpal tunnel syndrome, sinusitis, migraines, okay, acid reflux, heart problem, are we done yet? I mean, we can go from A to Z, and we teach our practitioners in our New World Practitioner training to do all of this. And understand this, you guys see that we could actually take someone that's never been trained before and actually train them in one course? Do you see it?
Yeah, well, that's what happened with me. I was an ice cream man. Up until that point, I had a business. It was an ice cream, an ice cream van, and so I done that for my whole life, for 30 odd years. And then when the sepsis came, and then when I started following you on Facebook, and then I bought the black gold, the iodine, fulvic acid, the clapper, and a few other things like the belly button therapy, all these tools, and I just started my daily detoxing and clearing my gut, and it was just like amazing. Took a while, but I'm here now, and at that time I was dying. my gut was rotted out. It was just, I was like, everything was going wrong down there, with just like urine infections, you name it. And I've pulled it all back within 3 years. So, and I'm as fit as I've ever been, and I'm 53 now. When I started seeing you, I just knew I was guided to the course. I just knew that I had to go and do the course. And when I met Diane, I did say to her at the time, I said, I'm going to do this guy, I'm watching Darren Wolf, and I was showing her, I was saying, I'm going to do his course, I'm guided to it. And this has all happened after the spiritual awakening as well. So I was guided from like higher above, telling me, you need to go and do this course and bring it to Scotland to show people that you can heal yourself. And everything that I went through on my journey was to teach me so that I could experience it, so that I could show people I've been through this, and this is where I'm at now.
You went to hell and back, Gary.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, Gary, I'm going to ask you a question, and then you be honest, but have you learned that it all had to do with not loving yourself and even hating yourself?
Definitely. And the thing is, I've always been a positive person my whole life, but...
No. You've always been a nice guy.
Nice guy, yeah. No,
Yeah.
well, definitely. That's the thing about I was always the person that done everything for people.
Yeah.
I always helped people out. Even when I was at my lowest, I could still get up and go and help people. So I was giving away all my energy, all my love, everything to everybody else. I won't say that there wasn't anybody there that done the same for me, but I did give away everything. Literally, even Diane said that to me when she met me. Like, why are you doing all this for people? And I just thought, it's just the way it is. But ever since then, I've liked the course and done the course with the Wolf Nod Surgical and the whole life coach course. That was like phenomenal for me. That was just like the pinnacle on my journey through this spiritual awakening, and also through the health.
Yeah.
Because it opened up a lot of traumas for me. It opened up a lot of doors that were closed. It released so much, and it brought me right back to my power. And ever since then, I've just been concentrating on me and me only. That's it, first and foremost, and loving myself unconditionally.
Beautiful. Somebody's asking a question. We are going to be coming to just outside of London, 45 minutes, and we will be there. I am really trying to remember here. I think it might be, actually, I think we're coming there in October. I think we're coming in October to London, England. If you go to braveheartnation.com or bhnuniversity.com, our whole world tour is on there. We're kicking it off in Extapa, where Gary and Diane took the course, and in January the 8th. And then we're doing 9 different places, going to 5 different countries. Okay, and we will be in London, England. We'll be in Australia. We'll be in Canada. We'll also be into United States and Mexico. All right, and I want to ask a question, Diane. So when you took the course and you left, can you tell me what are you doing now? What are you doing? What do you do? I know what Gary does. What do you do?
Sleep. I was a nurse. I was actually a nurse in the NHS, the National Health Service, for 20 years before my awakening, which was also linked to ill health as well, the gut. I had a hiatus hernia, and I was getting anemic and different things, and Helicobacter, all of these things. So it was a period of ill health. And again, I was put in a PPI and took a bad reaction to it. I get numbness in my fingers and brain fog. So I came off of it, and I said, I can't take that. And that was what started my journey into holistic health. So I had already started doing some work to heal the gut. I was guided to get reflexology. Then I trained as a reflexologist all while I was still a nurse. And I started getting into Reiki and different things. And then I started developing my spiritual gifts, so my psychic abilities and things like that. So all of that kind of culminated in me leaving the NHS 2 years ago, and we set up a spiritual business. It's called Indigo Blue Star. And
I'm sorry, 1 second. It's called what?
Indigo Blue Star. So that's our logo there.
Okay, all right. And is that a website too that people could go to?
We don't have a website that's getting worked on at the moment, but we're on social media. We've got a link tree. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. But
and what? 1 second, love, because I got to help you with your marketing. What are you called on Instagram and Facebook?
So Facebook, just Indigo Blue Star.
Okay.
Instagram, we're Indigo Blue Star 2.
Yes. And then Gary, you're called Wolf Non-Surgical?
Non-surgical, yes.
Yes.
Quite.
Okay, good. Now, do you have a separate website, Gary?
It's just a Facebook page I've got just now.
Okay, that's all right.
A website constructed at the moment, so we're just deciding whether to put both together and keep them separate.
I would put them together because you are together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would do that. You could take your name of your company, and they both link into the same company.
Yeah.
That's it. That's that. So you're separate but still together. And when people come on, they see your half and your half, and they can do the flip switch because you are the invisible and he's the visible. Okay, otherwise you are the emotional and he is the physical. Yes, you are. You got it right there. Okay, so can I ask you a question? So, and this is a little personal, and just know that we do have a line meter on the phones here, so it will tell if you're lying. So, you came to the course. When you left the course, did you find you were rubbing against each other for a little while? And then you found more unification? Because that's...
Definitely.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Definitely. I think the course, we're mirrors to each other anyway, so we do mirror each other's wounds, and so we do a lot of healing. But I think the course, up until that point, it had been me that had been kind of mentoring Gary, I suppose, and then when we went to the course, it was my self-limiting beliefs and my wounds that were kind of highlighted and brought to the surface, so it changed the dynamic, and I was the vulnerable one that was kind of messed up again, it felt like.
No. You were a brave heart going in and digging out dysfunctional belief systems that our ancestors have been programmed with for thousands of years, and that's the God's truth, and most people will never wake up to it, and all you are doing is facing your brave heart femininity. That's it.
Yeah, so it definitely changed the dynamic, and we did have to work through a lot, didn't we? It really challenged our relationship, to be honest, the whole course and the Wolf Non-Surgical training every day, because we didn't realise how many emotions and things were being released through that. So it kind of culminated for me in a big outburst.
Can I explain something and then throw the ball back to you? Everyone, you may not believe this, but I have a saying called issues in your tissues, and understand something. When you are not processing through unconditional love in your life for yourself and this world, and you are doing it with conditional love, you will have issues in your tissues. You will be not at ease, so you must have a disease, and you will suffer like everyone else, and you will say, well, it's as good as it can get. Let me tell you something. I kick butt every day. I don't have headaches. I don't have aches and pains. I've got energy. I've got clarity. I know what I want. There's no authority on this planet above me. None. Absolutely no one. I am scared of no one. I do not pick fights. I'm not into picking fights, but fear does not live in my life. And understand this, 999 people out of 1,000 will be fearful for the rest of their life, and they will do things, say things, drink things, eat things, and become things that they never ever wanted to become. And that's because people do not understand that the subconscious rules every moment until you're conscious enough to want to go and crack the coconut from the inside out. What do you think, Diane?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but at the time I didn't realise it was my beliefs that were holding me back. and I struggled with that. I struggled. I thought I understood, you know, why I was the way I was and why I felt the way I felt, and like you didn't understand. But now I know it was my programming, my beliefs. I can see now how it all links into the ancestral line and different things. So I've done so much work on that since we've come back, haven't we? And released. So, but honestly, I feel like a completely different person. I'm not going to lie. I'll be forever grateful to you for what for the experience. So
No. It's easy for me to do the course. You need to be ever so grateful to yourself and being brave enough to allow that to come to the surface and then face it and understand, whoa, this was never mine in the first place. And it doesn't matter how ugly the belief system is or how twisted it is. It wasn't you in the first place. Everybody was programmed from 0 to 7 by their beautiful parents that were adulterated by their parents, because everything is epigenetic. There is no genetic diseases. And if anybody were to do their homework, they'd know that cancer is not genetic at all. And that's the truth. They did a big study called the Genome Project, and nobody's heard about it because it was a total flop. They wanted to prove that everything was genetic so that they could just hog tie and choke the whole world down with their poisons and with their terrible therapies. And you know what? The only way that you can get a person to do most of the medical therapies is to get them to hate their life and hate themselves, because they'll pick the same thing in food, in people, and in therapy. And when somebody learns how to unconditionally love themselves, they won't pick toxic people, they won't pick toxic food, toxic drink, and they definitely would not pick a toxic therapy. What do you think, Diane?
No, 100%. But it's as you say, you've got to learn to love yourself, and
it's not that easy. It's not that easy, is it?
It's not. It's hard. It's like taking me a long time, over 40 years, and a lot of trauma and a lot of pain, and to find somebody that loves you for your authentic self. So it's hard, but it's achievable. It's achievable, and it's worth it.
So basically, we know that you both loved each other, but basically, I could be wrong, and just tell me I am, because I can handle it. Of course I can. You both came together because you were wounded, and now you ended up staying together because your Braveheart authentic selves have come out, and you still love each other, and I bet you love each other differently, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Our relationship's constantly evolving, and our love's deepening as we thought. Oh, you can only love to the level you love yourself, can't you? So
Bam! Diane, you're brilliant.
As we open the heart and work in the heart and release more and more and more, you know, we're not just more love for each other, we've got more love for humanity and for those around us as well. So it's amazing, really, once you start to love yourself, where it can lead.
Can I say something that you just triggered? Wow, if we could give everybody patience for themselves, and if we could give them non-judgment for their outside world, what kind of world would it be, Diane?
Just unity.
Yeah.
Just unity.
Yeah.
Because we are all one. That's the thing. We are all the one consciousness. It's just that we need to let go of all the negativity and the programming and the things that aren't serving us. It's a journey.
Can I ask you a question? Have you two started to have like maybe bi-weekly gatherings in your home, just inviting people? You know, it might start off at 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh?
We've done day retreats and also like
circles. We've done
healing
quite a
circles.
few healing circles as well, where we focus on heart and heart awakening.
So it's self-love.
Heart healing, and we do a lot of online work as well, where we'll do healing and activation for people as well. We do quantum energy healing.
Diane, how do I get in touch with you though? What's your phone number?
That's your number.
I don't have a phone number.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, do you have a homing? Do you have a homing pigeon?
Mostly to get in touch with through the Indigo Blue Star is through our Instagram.
Okay.
My numbers, if you're outside Scotland, it's +44 7936 870. Somebody's connecting. 968.
Okay, can you say it again slowly? And just know, everybody, guess what? Because Diane doesn't have a phone, you're going to call Gary to get through to Diane. How's that for a secret agent code?
Definitely. 07936 870 968.
Beautiful.
If it's outside Scotland, it's +44.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so what do you see for the two of you? What do you see for the two of you? Where are you going? What are you going to do? Come on. You know what? And the world will go into probably, it's going to go into, every 100 years has to do it. It has to have a brain fart. So the world's going to go into probably total chaos by around April, and then it's going to last till about 2032 until we all calm down and find peace again. I know people don't like to hear that. So how are you going to react? And what are you going to do to have the peace while the world is attacking themselves and each other? Because most people have been taught to hate themselves. So they're going to go out and look for hate and find out places to vent their anger. But what are you guys going to do in this next 7 to 8 years until we get into the blissful world that we so desire? What are you going to do? What's your plans? How are you going to deal with that on an emotional and physical level? How much are you going to allow it to take you down, to steal your energy? And what are you going to do to pivot and give it?
I don't feel it affects us, to be honest, because we've disconnected from that frequency.
Beautiful. That's what I like to hear.
We don't watch news. We don't listen to all the fear mongering. I've not watched television in over 12 years. So it's never been a big thing for me. I always knew that newspapers and news, and it's always bad news. There's never any good news. If somebody could start a news media and call it good news and just have good news on it, they would maybe a bit.
Gary, there was a good news station, and they lasted for 6 months, and they went bankrupt. Yeah. Nobody watched them.
Yeah. Nobody watched them.
No. The majority of the population is never going to look for good, okay? Because and it's not because there's something wrong with them. It's because their belief systems were actually programmed into them that somebody's responsible, but not them. Until people take massive personal action, they'll never find their authentic self, never have the life that was actually supposedly granted to us. Gary, go ahead.
Oh, definitely. Most people have been programmed down the ancestral line forever to hate themselves, not to love themselves, and to give up and just listen to what they're fed. Whereas we've disconnected from that side of the life on this planet at this moment in time.
So what you did is you disconnected from that and you connected to your inner self with an inner standing that you're two spirit beings that are going to have the adventure of a lifetime. Something like that, or am I off?
No, definitely a fun-filled adventure. Well, that's definitely our plan.
I think that's how we don't be affected by it, because we're connected to source, and we're grounded and we're connected to air. So
thank God.
We always come back to who we are at soul level and tap into higher guidance and higher levels of consciousness. So the lower levels of consciousness I just don't engage with, to be honest, at all.
Yeah, somebody asked me the other day, okay, and I'm going to make a meme of it. They asked me, so are you still a Christian, or what religion are you? And I said, well, I'm the religion that unites the whole world together as brothers and sisters. And they didn't know what to say after that.
Oh, that's it.
Very much, I feel like guardians. That's what we get through, that we're guardians and we're here to bring back the unity consciousness.
And also to bring the ancestral.
Yeah, but guess what? The majority of the population just said you're a flake.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And we're going to love them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
That's not news.
Love conquers all at the end of the day. So if everybody loves herself unconditionally, we'll have a world full of love. That's when everybody releases all the traumas and all the drama and all the everyday things that they think that they need in this life, and we come back to one. The world will be a beautiful place to stay, and it will come back. We're just going through a time of there's negative polarity on the planet, like the negative and positive, and we're here on the positive side fighting for the cause, and that's what we're doing. So everything that we're doing, we're being guided to. So
you're not just minding your business, your own business. You're also minding your vibration, your frequency, and the light.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Well, I learned that through giving everything away, and that's why you can become physically unwell, and because you're giving all your love away and everything to other people, your emotions, and that's so now I keep all of this for myself. I bring it all
Well,
back.
where do you think this comes in, especially with mothers and fathers, okay? I'm unappreciated. Nobody respects me. Everything I do, I work myself to the bone. I'm exhausted. Everything. I go from early in the morning until later at night, and I cater to everyone. You cater to everyone? Let me tell you something. So there's a lady, and she took a course, and she's beautiful, beautiful lady. And I just did a consult with her, and she had a consult with me. Are you ready for this? I'm not cheap to have a consult with. I'm not overly expensive, but I'm fairly expensive because I don't have that much time. So anyways, I call her, okay, and so we're running late. Now, why are we running late? Because her 18-year-old and her 17-year-old needed applesauce and juice and a snack, okay? Did you? One second.
Somebody else.
Please get off the line. Genevieve. Genevieve. There you go. Got it. That's just a practitioner who thought she was invited. But she wasn't she wasn't uninvited. It just wasn't the right time to be invited.
Yeah, so another 3 people have come on in that time, but they've been off again.
Boy, popularity is something
Can I
else.
just say that Gary's been doing so much Wolf Non-Surgical on me. I'm like a new woman. I'm like
did a facelift yesterday. That's
facelift.
Listen to me. I can see it. I can see the facelift. And guess what?
Yeah.
Remember when I came to the course and I told you that the average 20-year-old needs 10 hours to totally renew their body. The average 30-year-old needs 20 hours. The average 40-year-old needs 20 to 30 hours. And I'm talking about, you know what, people don't care about being stiff or lethargic. If they can, you know what, today, guess what 99% of the population has? Functional illness. And because everybody has it, nobody talks about it. But if anybody out there, if you ever get about, you get one treatment and we'll give you a money back guarantee that we're going to blow your mind. We're going to go further than anybody else ever went with any type of body work. But if you were to go and you were to sign up with Gary for 10 hours, he'll give you a discount. I just put that online, so now he's got to. So, but if you went and got 10 hours where he did your spine, your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, your hips, your SI joints, your knees and your ankles, that's about 10 hours. You would be a new person. You would be feeling 20, 30 years younger. You would have your life back. Everybody, I got to tell you something. And I mean this. I do love everyone, but we're not here. We're here for the people that are awake and the people that are worth more than a nickel 95, which is only $1. The reality is we are worth everything that we are paid for. We give you a money back guarantee, and we're going to go so far, so far that it will blow your mind. We will go past your expectations, because guess what? It's not hard when you take a look at the rest of the natural body work and the medical work out there. It's not hard. If a therapist is not focusing on pulling scar tissue apart. Everybody, you need to get this. This would be normal tissue. You got your blood flow, lymph flow, you got your spirit energy flowing. Okay, because of sports injuries, because of car accidents, because of any type of accidents, because of you being so fearful because you think they're coming for you. The end of the world's coming. I'll give you an example. Okay, do you want to know something? That people okay, so just so you know this, back 50 years ago, people used to have 3 trauma drama moments every month. Before COVID, people would have 17 trauma problems in their mind, not in reality, 17 times a day. That's enough to destroy you. That's enough to go all the way from arthritis to cancer. Now, ever since the COVID, all right, thing happened, now we have people, the majority of the population are triggering their adrenals and dumping out adrenaline and cortisol. Do you know how many times a day? 120 times a day. 120 times a day. Where do you think the turbo cancer is coming from? All the turbo disease. Where do you think the so-called depression's coming from? When there is no such thing as depression, it's you telling the same horrific, terrifying story over and over again because the brain is only a computer. There's no intelligence in it unless you have intelligent beliefs. Did you know that? The brain is only a chemist and a computer. And you're bloody well running programs. Well, this is who I am. Oh, really? Well, okay, so we should all run now. The reality is this. Everybody thinks that the majority is as good as it gets. And it's actually the minority is trying to show you that there's unlimited potential. I will never reach my potential on this planet. I am created by God Almighty. And I was created in that likeness of being a creator. And everything that you have in your life, whether it's physical, emotional, or financial, those belief systems are creating it. You could be abundantly rich, physically healthy, emotionally happy, if you decide to change a belief. And if you don't want to get conscious of that fact, then you buckle up, baby, because it's going to be a rough ride, especially for this next 7 years. And that's the truth. Gary, what do you think? Diane, I'd like you both to comment on that. And you can say that I'm a little off or I'm totally off. I'm okay with that.
No, definitely. I mean, I kind of know what's coming in the next 7 years. So, and I've already been like, a few years ago, I was like commenting and
Right.
sharing things and
Right.
talking about these things for years and years and years. So I've always been aware of these things. And people used to say, like, this is like 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe even longer. So people would say, like, I was crazy because I was speaking out about certain things and I was always questioning things. And people would say, oh, you're crazy. Where do you get this stuff from? But I mean, once in my spiritual awakening, I know where I get it from. And like, I know what's coming in the next so many years. I know the plan. I know what's been aim here for. I know what they're doing. So I'm totally just prepared and focused on my journey, on how I show people how to heal themselves, so that we heal one person at a time, and everybody steps up into their power and it gets into the love frequency, the love vibration, and that's what changes the world.
Yeah.
I got to say this again, Diane. I would really like you to put a before and after picture up on the website. I am like, I can't get my eyes off of you. I'm just blown away. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Everybody, I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to create something. I'm trying to tell you it's real.
No, definitely.
Oh my God, Diane.
I think it's as well. It's to do with the trauma release and the emotional release. Well, the wolf and all the work Gary's been doing on me. I mean, my beautiful husband has been instrumental in healing me with the tools that he learned from yourself. But he's worked in my gut. He's worked in my back, my neck, my shoulders. The amount of emotions that I've released, and anger and rage, and it's just total transformation, mind, body and soul. And because we're combining that with, like physical changes, lifestyle changes, and the spiritual work as well, it's limitless to what you can achieve, to be honest. And both of us have completely transformed in the last few years. I mean, if you saw Gary when we first met as well, I mean, his fingers were blue to here, completely blue.
Basically dying.
Yeah.
I was dying.
I wanted to call you Dumpling.
Nah.
I'm kidding.
But we're still a bit chunky.
I want to away.
We're still a bit chunky, but yeah, we've both completely transformed in so many ways, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and it's just an amazing journey to be on, isn't it? It really is.
The last year especially.
Yeah, the last year
since we've done the course.
So much expansion.
Since you took the Whole Life Coach and the Wolf Non-Surgical, you mean?
It was a big catalyst for us stepping into our power and, as you say, coming into unification and really stepping more into our mission and purpose as well. It really catalysed that for us.
Beautiful.
Taking all the tools that we learned from the courses and bringing them back with us and working them on ourselves first and foremost, and then so that we can pass them on to other people. So it was like we're proof that these things are amazing and they do work. Because like if I had before and after photos of me from years ago, like where I was at, my health and where I'm at now, people would be like, that's not you, that's a different person. You know, I was like half the weight I was like dying, I was just blue, my fingers were blue, I was in a really bad position, and then just basically seeing you on Facebook doing your thing during the pandemic, and that just triggered like my health kick.
I think the good thing is as well, in Scotland there are a lot of people who are quite chronically sick, and it's quite dense. It's quite a dense environment, and it's quite challenging to bring these concepts and protocols to Scotland. But we are finding that the people that are coming are awakening souls, and they're gifted souls that are remembering who they are, and they're starting to take their own power back. And it's beautiful to work with these people and assist them on their path.
I love that. They're remembering who they were and are.
Yeah.
I love that, Diane. Can I take a little thing here? First of all, yes, if you're interested in the courses, go to braveheartnation.com or bhnuniversity.com. Because why we call ourselves university, because you can get your doctorate of natural medicine through us. You can also get your doctorate of indigenous medicine that will protect you any country in the world against the government, because there are so many factions that come against natural medicine, and they're going to tell you can't do this and you can't do that. Once you get your indigenous doctorate, you are now in the indigenous tribe, and now you go by the indigenous law of unconditional health and care. You no longer are under the healthcare system anywhere in the world. That is the truth. Next question. Can arthritis cause cancer? Well, they are the same, everyone. And I'm going to tell you something. Inflammation causes them, and people say to me, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, inflame means that it is a flame. And what does a flame do? Eat up oxygen. The only person in history of the world that got the Nobel Prize was Dr. Otto Warburg, for proving that cancer is caused because of what? It's caused because of 35% lack of oxygen in the cells for more than 3 days. The cell has to morph, and then it lives off of lactic acid, which people are full of. And cancer cells cause lactic acid to create a more acidic environment to make sure that the oxygen levels don't come up. Do you get this? Wake up, everyone, and understand something. They also live off of sugar, seeing that we eat 100 times more sugar than ever before, seeing that they hide the corn syrup and the sugar under different names. Anything that you get now from any food companies, because BlackRock almost owns all supermarkets in North America, and they're moving throughout the world. Because if they can own all the supermarkets, they can put a chokehold and they can poison everything. Even if you go to a health food store, you better check that product that was organic last week, because as soon as they buy the company, they start poisoning it and they don't have to change it. And watch out for natural flavors That just means it tastes like a natural flavor. That doesn't mean it's natural. Watch out for BE. Watch for the appeal sticker, and understand something. It's them against us. We're 8 billion. They're about 250,000, these psycho families. And we can't get our shit together to actually strategize and love ourselves enough or love each other and just say no more. But the reality is cancer, the C in cancer stands for, first of all, corruption. They corrupt you on a psychological level. And when they corrupt you on a psychological level, the next C is actually what? Conflict. Because you're in conflict with yourself because you're too stupid to look after yourself, which you're not. They think we are. Why do you think they call it arthritis? Arthritis just means inflammation in the joint. Anybody could take care of that. But if they called it inflammation in the joint, you'd go, well, doctor, how do I get rid of the inflammation? And guess what? The doctor, the medical doctor, doesn't even know how to get rid of inflammation because he's a medical doctor, because he's not a real doctor. He's a physician or a surgeon. I know this is a little bit more detailed, but I'm going to make sure that you can't nail me and tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. The next thing is contamination, because once you have it on the psychological level, you're going to do it on the physical level. And the next thing is arthritis is inflammation, and cancer is stage 4 inflammation. Do you get that? Cancer is stage 4 inflammation, everyone. And what inflammation causes, and it's from infection on a physical and emotional level, so know that. And the reality is that the inflammation causes the scar tissue that Gary can pull apart, and as soon as he does, he doesn't get rid of scar tissue. He brings in your blood flow, that brings in the oxygen, that brings in the minerals, that brings in the nutrients, and instantaneously in front of your eyes, scar tissue turns into actually beautiful connective tissue. I can take a fibroid tumor the size of a small orange, and I can reduce the size by 1/3. I'm in Orlando right now, and I will be leaving from here to actually go to Texas to see some of my practitioners. I have a training down there, and then another training in Puerto Rico, and then I'm going to Canada, and then back to Mexico. But what I'm trying to tell everybody here is this, okay? I'm in Orlando for another few days. You get me somebody with a fibroid this big, I will lovingly go in with my elbow, which is the most powerful thing, not your hands. And trigger point therapy doesn't work. Acupuncture doesn't work like this. I have a doctorate in acupuncture. I don't even use it. And I will go in, and I want this. Okay, so call me. I'm going to Texas. I'll be near Prosper, Texas. And I will come live with you, and I'll show the work. I'm going to be in Puerto Rico, and then I'm going to Kelowna, British Columbia, and then I'm going back to Mexico, where I'll be there for during Christmas, and then I'll be starting the New World Practitioner course on the January the 8th. And I will go live and prove to you that I can take a fibroid tumor down by at least 20 to 30% in a half an hour. And understand, that's just pulling the scar tissue apart. What do you think? You grow these things because you have to store the issues that you can't process. And these are all negative issues. And it's got to be stored somewhere. Would you rather have cancer, or would you rather have a tumor? Well, that's where everything is stored. And the more dehydrated your tissues become, the more knotted they become, is the more that you run these belief systems that are destroying you. Do you get that? So an inflammatory diet, an inflammatory mind is going to be a landmine. And understand something. Arthritis is just scar tissue crystallization and calcium in your joints. And you give me somebody with an arthritic joint the size of a large grape, and I will take that down in 15 minutes by 80%. Did you get that? And understand, no, don't touch yourself. Don't learn how to look after yourself. Don't become patient to practitioner. Wouldn't want to do that. Okay? Listen, enough of feeding these people. Enough of feeding these people. It's amazing how corporations now rule the world of health. And they're going to rule it, and they're going to sell everybody off by the pound. So can arthritis become cancer? Yes. Yes, it can. Okay, because guess what? It's not genetic, it's epigenetic. Oh yeah, but my grandmother had breast cancer and so do I. Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you something. Worry about something and feed it long enough and strong enough, and it'll eat you up. Now, take this one. I love myself. I'm going to care for myself. I am unconditional love. I am not guilty. I am not a sinner. I am not a failure. And when I do lose, it's because I'm not losing, I'm learning. You need to teach yourself to talk differently. And that's what Diane and what Gary teach. Didn't you hear them today? Didn't you hear them? You know, they're not telling you that they're perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not complete. What is complete? I will never be complete until I'm back to my spirit, only spirit. But down here, I've got a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure where everybody's telling me I'm a quack. I don't deserve to be a doctor, okay? And that I hurt people. And guess what? It's never going to stop. So the adventure is never going to stop. The majority of the population rules, but they don't rule me. And understand something. There is only one dis-ease. Only one. And if you're doing things to realign yourself, bring harmony in, connect to your breath, if you lived in the present moment, you would own it. When you live in the past, you live in the future, you're toast. You couldn't scare me if you tried. You couldn't threaten me if you tried. I'm telling you, I've been threatened and come up against you wouldn't believe. And guess what? They've done it all. Nothing is going to matter because those people that know you and love you and they understand and they're awake, that's all you need. You do not need the majority behind you. You do not need family behind you that does not believe you. You do not need friends behind you that do not believe in you because you need to believe in yourself. It is not about hoping it's going to work out because it's probably not. It's having faith and the knowledge to know that you are created by God Almighty, so act like it. And go in there and reprogram. And we don't call cancer cancer. We call it stage 4 inflammation because anybody can look after inflammation. And if you want to call that word cancer, then all you're going to attach to it as a definition is a life sentence, that one that's going to take you down. So understand that. Do not let these bullies, these psychopaths rule us. Everything is a lie in the world except for you. You are beautiful. What do you guys think?
Amazing. Nothing much more we could say on that, but I mean, there's like the whole programming thing. People have been programmed forever.
And they will be programmed forever.
Yeah, but we're here to break the programming for the next generations. That's the thing. So if we break the program, we pass it down to the next generations. It only takes a few generations to reprogram the mindset. Again, back the other way, back to the old conditional love. The way I see genetics, they say it's genetic. I actually see it as it's the programming's genetic from your grandparents, parents. So you've been genetically programmed through the way they are, down to your parents, down to you. So it's just like, it's the way you eat, the way you sleep, the way everything you work. So you've been programmed your whole life into this way of life from your ancestors. And I think like that, a lot of that's to do with the genetic side of it. So it's not that it is an actual genetic illness or disease. It's a genetic programming.
Yeah.
So decide this then, everyone out there that's watching. Are you the family curse? Or are you the family gift? You decide.
Curse breaker, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, curse breaker. That's what you need to be. I love that. We need you know what, Diane? I want you to put a curse breaker course together. And then we will put that on my platform, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
And I want it to be ready by noon today.
Just channel that in. I was just going to say about fibroids, and you were talking about fibroids. I actually had a fibroid that Gary broke down for me with Wolf Non-Surgical, and I did a lot of womb healing at the same time, a lot of like womb releasing, womb healing, and what I actually released, like on an emotional level, was like a really toxic relationship that I'd had in my teens, and this person or their energy was actually in my womb space, and that's what caused the fibroid. So when I tuned into it from a spiritual perspective, that's what had caused it. Was like a physical manifestation of the pain that I was holding on to from that time when I was only like 19 or 20. It was a really toxic relationship, and he died really tragically. So Gary actually broke that fibroid down, and I then went on a journey of like releasing that and integrating it and processing it and letting it go. It was absolutely out of this world. To do that, that's how powerful this stuff is. It's unreal. And that's why I look so much lighter.
Well, guess what? There's nothing more powerful than working on a woman's pelvic area to release her feminine power. And that's why we put the pelvic restoration and disease prevention course together. And Diane, you should actually become a teacher for us of that, because you would be amazing. I want you to really consider this, okay? I'm very intuitive, as you already know. I can nail everybody. I can nail anybody in a room within 1 minute. And you know what? You would be amazing at that. And I know you would love it. You would love it. Think about it.
In my role, I feel womb health and womb healing, and I do a lot of yoni steaming, and I use a yoni egg and things like that. So it's definitely how you come into your power as a woman.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
It's transformed you.
Men have got a womb space.
Men have what?
A womb space.
Space.
A womb space.
Yeah, a hara. Let's call it the hara.
The harder.
Hara.
Hara. H-A-R-A.
Hara. Okay, I thought you were talking dirty to me or something.
You wish.
Again.
You see, I learned from you guys, and you learn from me, and that's how it is. And just know this, you guys don't demand enough from me, and you don't demand enough from Braveheart Nation and Doc of Detox. You know, just because you're in Scotland, it doesn't mean anything. You should be acting like your next door neighbors. Just know that. But I've talked about that, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do know you don't want to upset me.
No, we don't mind upsetting you.
All right, what would you like to leave everybody with? Huh? What would you like to leave them with?
Don't give up. The love is always there inside. Once you start dealing with certain things and start cutting out certain people, certain individuals, certain family members, and a lot of things in your life, it's all about releasing and letting go of all that no longer serves you and bringing all the love back to yourself. It's all about the love. And once you love yourself unconditionally, there is nothing you can't do in this world.
Yeah. I would just echo that, but I would just say that you can come from the depths of despair and the darkest kind of places and times, and emerge like the butterfly from the cocoon.
Yeah,
We are proof of that.
yes.
Beautiful, guys. Gary, would you like to give me your phone number that they can get in touch with Diane coming through you?
I like to remain elusive.
Well, good luck with that, because the world needs you. The world needs you. It's not going to happen, so get ready.
So if you're phoning from outside Scotland, it's +44 07936 870 968.
Okay, I want you to go slower this time, like really slow.
You said that, it'll tell us to go slower.
+44 079 no sorry +44 7936 870 968.
Okay, and how else can they get in touch with you? On what platforms, and what name do you go by?
Well, I'm on Facebook, just Facebook and Instagram as Scotland's Wolf Non-Surgical.
Scotland? Is it Scotland or is it plural?
Scotland's.
Okay, it's plural with an S.
Yeah.
Scotland's Wolf Non-Surgical.
Non-Surgical.
Thank you.
So quite easy to find. And you can call me on that same number, or WhatsApp me, or whatever, email. All my details are on that Facebook page.
Beautiful.
And then the other.
Yeah, so Indigo Blue Star, where we do our spiritual work, quantum energy healing and activation, spiritual mentorship, is Facebook Indigo Blue Star and Instagram Indigo Blue Star 2. We're also on TikTok. There's a few funny videos on there. I think that's Indigo Blue Star 2 as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. So you guys are going to come back on in a month and let me know what else is new and what you're up to?
Definitely.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
In a month, I'll be in Mexico. So I'll probably do it from high up on a mountain overlooking the Zihuatanejo Bay. How's that?
Brilliant.
Beautiful.
It'll probably be snowing here right enough, but that's that's brilliant.
Well, okay. Well, if I see you with a parker on, I'll know it's you.
I've always got a parking on.
Okay. All right, guys. All my best to you, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for, this has been a brilliant, this is only our first one. And just look at, you rocked it. You rocked it.
Thank you.
Okay? So I want you to embrace it. Embrace it. Okay? It is truly, truly an honor to have you both on here and actually have a couple that are shining the light for themselves onto each other. Do you know how rare that is?
Very well.
I'm going to call you the unicorn couple. You guys have the best day of your life, and thank you for joining me. Okay?
Thank you. Much love.
All right.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Talked about a beautiful couple. We've got family everywhere, don't we? I mean, we got people that we fall in love with. You could be anywhere in the world, and you don't even have to talk to someone, and you can feel so connected to them as if you've known them forever. You know that feeling, don't you? You know that feeling? Okay? And understand something. Let's let the judgment go. We've all been there, you know? I have been everything. And now I just want to be everything to myself and shine that light. But you know what? We've all been there. So we're getting into the holiday season, which is the grumpy season too. It's where everybody gets burnt out. So when you go to buy things or go through the cash register or you're driving in your car, just connect to your Lionheart breath. 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out. Put a smile on your face. Okay? No giving anybody the finger. Okay? Because you're doing it to yourself. Don't lose it. Let's see if you can just allow people, okay, to be in their misery that they don't even know that they have. And don't take it on. Because if you weren't even in the room, if you weren't on the street, if you weren't in the store, you know what? It's still going to go down. It is still going to go down with or without you. So the reality is you just came into the space that they're at. So breathe and send love, not anger. And guess what? You'll get through the whole Christmas season and New Year's without a sniffle, without a flu, without a cold. Okay? Because guess what? It's the emotional that rules the physical. It's the invisible that creates the physical. It's the psychological that rules the biological. So don't be psychologically upset. Okay? Know that people are going through a lot. Okay? Just breathe. Just breathe. And Uncle Harry, when he comes over for Christmas dinner and you don't even want to be there, okay? Don't focus on him. Don't give him your attention. Okay? Focus your attention on the people that you love and that, you know what? You know when you walk into a room, you know whether or not you belong there. Okay? Don't try to put yourself out, okay, to accept any toxicity on any level. Oh, we're not going to deny them, but we're just not going to put ourselves out for it. Do you understand? I will go where I feel love. I will eat only high vibrational, drink high vibrational, be around high vibrational, because I know that my frequency is the most important thing I protect. And if you don't know that by now, the blue light poisoning on here is a killer. I will wear these for the rest of the day. These are called Tesla eyewear. They're on our website at store.docofdetox.com, where they're the only glasses in the world that take blue light and change it over. You understand, they could have built all the phones, all the lighting, all the computers, all the movie screens could have been scalar and Tesla frequencies and light coming off. But guess what? They're harvesting us. Why do you think it's 5G, 6G? Why do you think they're allowed to put all these chemicals in everything? My God, we can't even get the fluoride and the chlorine out of the water. And all people do is bitch and complain. No, it's not going to leave. These are the rules. You came down to planet Earth. This is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, and they are going to sell you off by the pound unless you are conscious enough to make a different life. I'm doing it. I know it's going to go down in the next 7 years, and I'm going to put myself into a position of loving my life. And understand, I will not join the war. I will not join any conversation. I will not go to war with you, with myself, or anyone else. Because everybody is my family. You may not know me, you may not care for me, but it doesn't matter. I need to care for you. Just know this, our Black Friday, Shine the Light sale starts on Friday. Okay, people have been asking, so I'm telling. So if you want to take advantage of it, do it. I'm going to be coming on here if you ever want to know what I'm doing. I could be late sometimes, like I was a little late today. We got our time mixed up. But if you go to DocStar TV Guide at docofdetox.com, you will find all the different shows I'm doing. I'm going to be showing you things on the floor, how to release things in your body. I'm going to show you every trick I can give you for free, okay? I'm going to show you every training that I can possibly give you over the next few years here. I'm going to do whatever I can. Go to my library's free. It's docofdetox.com, not drdetox.com. docofdetox.com for my products, my library, which is the biggest self-care, self-love library in the world, and it is. There's no one has a bigger one because nobody was going to put that much money into it and give something away for free. I've got in there what's called the emotional chemistry of cancer, disease, and healing for that person that was talking about cancer. And that is the only really true study that was ever done. And that is a master class. Okay, and you will see it in my library. I also have How to Become Number One at the Art of Number Two. Everybody should be watching it. It's funny. It's a video. And it will bring you right, because every bowel movement is a computer printout. And the reality is, I have another one called Reverse the Irreversible, and I will prove to you that 95 to 98% of all surgeries, okay, are fraudulent. And that a chronic illness, there should never be chronic illness on this planet. Chronic illness means that you are being not treated, but mistreated. Not treated, but mistreated. And anybody can have a pain-free body and a pain-free life. Do you want to take massive action? Do you want to fall in love with yourself? No, you don't, because you either have sinner syndrome or somebody's made you feel guilty because you made some mistake in your life. Well, guess what? I'm going to make another million, and I don't need anybody's approval to make all these mistakes, because they're not mistakes. They're learnings until I get it right, because I would never, ever consciously hurt another human being. But me just telling you about how I feel because I don't follow the masses, that could probably get me into trouble too. Scotland's Wolf Non-Surgical. Thanks, Gary. I will look at your Facebook. Beautiful. And the other thing is, look at Reverse the Irreversible, and I prove to you that surgery is not needed and that your body will re-heal. And you can re-heal from any dis-ease. Did you hear what I said? You can reverse any dis-ease. Okay? What do you have to live for? What do you have to live for? Most people that are on the edge of death have been saying, I just want to die for 10 and 20 years. Or, you know what, I'm just going to go live on the street. Or, guess what, I'm just going to give up and die in a corner. Okay? You know, people always threaten themselves and they threaten everybody else. You say something long enough and strong enough and it's going to come true. And it's going to screw you over. Because guess what? Everything that you put out there, that which we call God, which is the most powerful healing frequency in the world, will send back whatever you request, because you were created to be your own creator. So guess what? Watch your mouth, watch your thoughts, okay? Watch what you drink, watch what you eat, because guess what? It all matters. You matter. Life matters. You matter. Unconditional love for yourself. Give it a shot. And thanks for joining me. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe. Bye, everybody.